What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, bringing you another VOD from America's Regionals Finals, and we must VOD review one of the 3 Citadel players who has already qualified early into the final lobby for Regionals. Look at this top 3. Citadel Robinsongz, Citadel Kaiwang, Citadel Marcel P. We've done a Kaiwang VOD review yesterday, and today we're going to view number 1 himself, Robinsongz. 58 points, started the tournament off with a 5th, and then did not have a single bot 4 until this final lobby where he actually went 8th. But it's kind of hilarious. Even with this 8th at the end here, he still went 1st overall, which is just, I mean, nuts to see. And this game, he played a cool line, one that, you know, people have talked about before, but I think has fallen a lot into the wayside. And the way that Robin played it, I mean, thinking about this line in the meta, it does actually like make a lot of sense that this would be a very, very strong line. So I want to see how Robin pilots it, how we get there, and also just to say, what a beast, Robinsongz. Three Citadel players, final lobby. So funny, I was talking about Kaiwang yesterday, about how a lot of people, or at least I was listening to Gangly's podcast, Gangly and CLE's podcast, and they were low-key flaming Kaiwang, and now Kaiwang smurfing, Robin smurfing, Marcel smurfing. I mean, just an amazing group of players. We are going to start off with this double GP orb here, which really gives us the entire idea behind this game plan. Double GP orb plus this duplicator here basically says, wow, we could actually play for a GP2 to start with here, which is obviously an amazing start. We're very, very pleased to just in most circumstances make the dupe here and make the GP2 and play around that. The question is, what will we play into this game? And also, what will we take here? Savings account is an augment that I think a lot of people rated quite highly in, you know, past, I mean, really just this entire set, honestly. I remember back when somebody said that like the Wage and Iverson study group would always take this augment. But we do have a much better option here, and we're going to roll and look at savings account for a little bit. He is considering it here. He even thinks about rolling Blood Offering here, but I think Blood Offering is just too good of a take in this spot. When you know that you're going to guarantee this GP2, it's just fantastic to have an item for him. And yep, there's the dupe. There's the BT slammed here. Make an item here. I almost want to make Titans, but he's going to take the sword here, another sword here, and just opt into making a DB plus a bow here. So yeah, doesn't really care for that. Just wants to be a maximum damage GP here. Gets the DB, fantastic item onto him here, and makes a lot of sense. I mean, just more damage will never be bad in a spot like this when your GP is just a complete monster, right? You don't need the defensive stats of anything else, really. The GP is just going to completely carry you. So we pick up we have the Graves unlock here. We can actually, you know, think a little bit, you know, how much we want to actually hold on to this guy. We are going to pick him up here. Holds on to the Draven too. And the other thing that I want to talk about this line is that obviously we have this GP2 to start the game. If it were a few patches ago, I think most people would say, okay, great, you have the GP, you tempo him into Slayers. You know, a lot of people were quite high on Slayers, you know, playing more around Yone. So, you know, you could see this, you know, maybe, especially with the Guinsus being aligned into Yone, which is why I think we were holding on to the Yasuo as well as a line. But Robinsongz, he throws it into team planners. There is this Slayer quote-unquote reroll line where you play for the GP3, you know, go for the fast GP3 and then tempo from there. This will also allow us to slam the Guinsus Rage Blade because there's an item that we can slam onto Belveth later. So it gives us good slams, and it, you know, allows us to play around this GP upgrade that we already have here. And I like this idea a lot. This is, once again, one of these lines that's not as played on the current patch. You know, people kind of liked playing more around last patch, the more like vertical slayers, more like void slayers type stuff. This version really became like the 3rd most popular version, but as more and more people are playing towards 3-cost reroll, that has been kind of the theme of so many of our VOD reviews recently, is 4-cost or 3-cost reroll, 3-cost reroll, 3-cost reroll. Now you can really say, okay, well, if 3-cost reroll is so prevalent, that's going to make it even easier for me to hit my Gangplank 3. There's not many other people out there who are contesting this Gangplank unit. I mean, what board plays Gangplank? If somebody wants to play vertical bilge, they can, but it's not really something that's quite popular. So it makes a lot of sense. We do rotate into actually a pretty decent board here with the Zoe here. I think GP can clutch it out. It would be crazy if we drop our streak here with this GP too. And it would actually be quite bad for business, because if you look at our econ, if you look at our spot here, we're very, very strong, right? We have the GP2. The thing you have to be careful about in spots like this, where you get like a 3-cost dupe, early dupe and make it like a GP2 and stuff like this, is if you do drop your streak, I think we should be fine against this Vi board. They don't have combat augment or anything like that. It was a little bit of a scary Vi for a second, but we should be fine. But if you do ever drop your streak here, your econ is just going down the tubes because you spent all this gold on your board. You have a GP on your board who's worth 9 gold essentially, and so you have to be really, really careful that you don't drop streak. This is why taking stuff like Blood Offering is so important in Robin's spot. Is getting to this insta 3-item GP is how you do win streak in this spot. If you took some kind of like savings account, something like that, and tried to greed out the streak with savings account, it's very likely that you would end up dropping streak, and then once again you're in just like a horrible spot in that position. So I really like how Robin's played this early game here. We do get low-key another BT for Blood Offering. We do also get, wow, today might have just been Robin's day, because that is just an instant Nautilus 2 that we can pick up here. Gonna make the second BT and go BT, 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 and move the Gwinsu down to the TF here. I like it a lot. I mean, Gwinsu, decent enough TF item, and the double blood offering. I don't think it does double proc, but I mean, it's a good enough item onto GP when the Gwinsu's is really not doing all that much here. You can also see that we're selling off a lot of these other bilge units. We're not going for all this other kind of stuff. On this build, you usually just play 3 bilge. We can potentially look at playing 5 bilge in the mid game. Is it care package here? I do love a care package on reroll lines like this. Advanced loan gold's a little risky. I would just grab the care package here. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Items are good in this line. You can get dupes out of care package, which is really nice. Any kind of line that the main thing I'm afraid of when I take care package usually is getting the dupes and not having any use for it. But in this line, you have usage for the dupes. Pick up that Bilgewater dupe, which is on our way to the GP3s. Only sad part is we have not naturaled any more GPs. We started on 2-1 with the GP2, and we are still just sitting on those 3 copies of GP. And we haven't even seen any other in our build shops, but I mean, trust that they will come, honestly. That with this line, so frequently you can just like randomly just spawn in, you shop refresh, buy a GP, the GP has a shop refresh under him, refresh, buy another GP, like you're plus 2 GPs there, and then you like use your dupe, that's 3 GPs, like, and then you're like basically there so often in this line. And so that's what Robin is going to do here. And once again, just try to keep this streak as streaked up as possible here. You can see Millennium Fox here playing towards one of these 3-cost reroll lines that's holding 3 different 3 costs out of the pool for us. So this is one of those things where back when this comp was more prevalent, 3-cost reroll wasn't as prevalent. It was a lot harder to find the GP, actually. You really had to completely rely on the build shops to find them because you were not naturaling any GPs. It was also in a world where bilge was a little bit more popular. Nowadays, bilge not that popular, 3-cost reroll a lot more popular. So much easier to find the GP3 here. All right, going into carousel here. Imagine we'd just like to pick up a belt here, make Evan's Shroud here. 2-cost belt looks amazing. Need tank items and need even Shroud. We could also make Sunfire, actually. We have the chain open as well. See which one Robin prefers higher here. For some reason, I'm thinking, actually, yeah, it is the Sunfire. Just because Cloak's a better component to leave open. Could be like a Kraken to pair really nicely with our Gwinsu's Rageblade onto the Belveth later. Obviously, even Shroud is the other one that you're looking at there. Whereas Chain Vest, I mean, it can be some good stuff, but it's not amazing. Edge of Night's like decent, Titan's decent, but like Kraken almost feels necessary on the Spellveth units, who we should be duo carrying later. We'll see what Robin gets to. I will say, we also live in a world where Atrox is a much easier unlock than he used to be, so we could also look for, an early Atrox and play towards that. 2 Nauts here. I mean, oftentimes you can play for a Nautilus 3 on this line as well. After you do find the GP3, that's what you could go for using your Bilgewater shops. We'll see if this is something that Robin wants to prioritize here, because you certainly can if you... The reason to not prioritize it is, you think you're going to waste too much econ holding on to these Nautiluses. You don't want to burn any like bilge dupes or anything like that. We do also finally lose to another reroll board, by the way, the Mal's Zoe plus Leona reroll board. So once again, just so much reroll out there. And yeah, he's going to skip the Nautiluses, say, you know what's in this spot here, I really just want to TP to GP and then push levels. I don't really feel confident enough about my spot to be able to find both, because I mean, our econ is not amazing. We don't really have a true econ augmented in this spot. And once again, it took us a long time to actually start making some gold at this game. Find Rek'Sai, find Fiddle, who is a great in on this board. tends to, we'll see how he wants to fit everything. Ooh, he's considering, yeah, the Reforge on the Chain Vest here, just looking for more offensive stuff here. We have potential QSS plus crack. He's actually going to make QSS Titans here with the idea that we want to keep the cloak open for Even Shroud and the double CC immunity. Obviously, they're not going to sit on the same unit forever, but, you know, we want some CC immunity for, I guess, the GP. It's QSS GP, I guess. QSS Belveth is normally what you would like here. Last augment here. I mean, you could take Heroic and just dupe. I think I like Swordsmith the best just because you can never have too many damage items in this comp, but we'll see. He's looking at Heroic. Yeah, I mean, the upside to this is you can now push 8 and you're there essentially. You're basically there. We're going to continue to roll down here, find some Belveths, which is nice. We actually do kind of need this gold here. He's actually going to keep rolling down, and now this is interesting. So we found the GPs. We found enough GPs without even using our other dupes now. So aren't these dupes are like low-key useless now? I mean, I guess we could try to dig for the Nautilus to get back to something, but yeah, these double dupes are not really going to do much for us for a while. And we do get the Belveth. We do end up putting the Titans onto the Belveth here, and the QSS actually is sitting on the Fiddlesticks right now, which is a little awkward, but I guess his idea is he doesn't know what to do with the BTs just yet. Do get the Aatrox unlock, who once again, it's going to be hard to fit everything on this board, right? He's going to fit Aatrox here, but now he's dropping into like a 3 Slayer version. I'm always so curious to see how people like cap around this comp, because like we're not playing the standard version of this comp, right? Standard is like you're playing Scion on this board, getting Bruiser in via that, and also getting Noxus in. We're not playing that version just because we got too much good stuff to play. You can't not play Fiddlesticks on this board. He's a Vank, and he's the best Vanquisher in the game because he's giving you that aura as well. But it's hilarious. Like we don't even have these Embesses onto the board just because it's like, I mean, how are we going to fit them? We have to fit Bruiser on this board so that our board's at least a little tanky. The Taric too helps a lot. Maybe it could be a world where this Bruiser ends up coming out. We move items over to Taric here, and that's what we end up doing. Gonna pick up Glove here, which could be our 3rd CC immune item if we really want it here, or could eventually end up being once again like Even Shroud. Or last, it could be Last Whisper, and then you don't have to worry about the Even Shroud here. Gonna move items over to Taric, like we talked about. Gonna get the Swain in here, who's just a fantastic in on this board. Once again, still not truly playing the normal Noxus package, and yeah, I mean, not even playing the Aatrox here. Just like, it's funny to see, but I mean, it's so real, is that, even Robin's a little bit lost in this spot, trying to figure out, okay, like what is strongest board, slowly eliminating units, pulling units in and out, and saying, okay, what must I play here? I mean, I have to play this like normal package of units that I'm playing here, and obviously I must play the Taric here for a front line, and then I must play the Fiddlesticks here, so that's already kind of like 5 units you must play. We must play the Belveth, because Belveth has to hold on to these items. Yeah, he's actually going to just use the dupes as 3 gold, each of them. Just say, you know what? I don't care that much for Nautilus here. Nautilus 3 is really like not even going to be much better than Taric 2 in this spot. And it's going to take me so much time to find this when I could just use these dupes, make gold, and potentially push 9 here. We'll see. We are taking this loss here. The thing about this spot is there's so much stuff we want to fit, right? There's all these units that we want to play here. Normally you would be playing the Scion on this board for Bruiser, but we also haven't even found the Scion again. It used to, we had the Scion earlier, but we ended up having to sell him for income here. So we're still in a little bit of Scion jail, though it's not, the end of the world if we don't find one. Even Shroud gonna come down here, maybe a TGBT. Though you kind of need tank items here. Mbessa 2 comes in here. So yeah, he's even going to make the swap. Has the Scion in shop as well. Going to move these items over. Oh, wow. Wait, where did am I crazy? He opened or forged something here to get to this Void Staff, right? I didn't even see. Oh, no, he got it off of the... Oh, he got it off of his augment here, the care package. I mean, that's a little bit tragic here, but he is going to move some items around here. Looking like he wants to go for the Flurry Forge. Oh, GS is great here. Now he can go for the BT. This means he is going to have to make a TG here, which can just sit on, yeah, I guess Nautilus for now here. Decent enough, and we do end up with the double BT, which is a little bit awkward, but, not the end of the world. The other funny thing about this spot, I've been in this spot before and always found it awkward, is we don't have Void in here, which really sucks, right? You want to fit Void. Also, we do need to pick up that Scion, right? That is just a better in on our board here. Well, not if we hit the Wukong too. Okay, I guess saved. And now we can actually consider this. Yeah, I mean, he took the Fiddle. Oh my God. I'm so dizzy watching this spot here. And yeah, he's going to start actually... Wow, pivoting out of Bilge completely here. BT is going to move over to the Aatrox. TG is going to move over to the Mbessa here. Great TG that we rolled this round, by the way. My God. I mean, the board's coming together. I mean, you don't actually need to play Bilge late game. in this line, especially in a spot like this where we don't actually have any build stacks. We've not really stacked up a lot of stats. I don't know that we've bought any stats this game, and you could slowly get there, but he's saying, you know what? I don't really want to play a lot of these build units that are just kind of useless on my board. Actually, the dream would be to go back, find the Scion again, cut the Alawi on the board, and then get the Scion in that way, and then we can go back, find the Swain in on this board, and eventually get to a world where we're playing Noxus again. But once, I think a lot of people like get trapped in this this pit where they're like, I must play 3 Noxus because it's such a good just like random splash trait. But if you can't fit it, you can't fit it. And Robin, I like this very messy, weird version of the board that he's playing, but it's the best board that he's got for now. Playing 3 Vank, 3 Slayer, no Bilge, no Noxus, no Void, no nothing. It's just what he's got for now, and that's what TFT is all about, is making the best of the situation that you're in. And you can see top 4 locked in already. Finds the Swain 2. Now we can level for this IE over to the Atrox here, and yeah, I mean, low key, I would even just roll here because like, does it matter? But I think he's saying, you know what, my board's quite strong. I don't actually mind. You know, if I fight somebody, like a lot of boards, even a lot of strong boards I can actually beat here. Interesting positioning by Darth Noob here. Kind of like pulls everybody to the left side here. And yeah, the GP ends up getting completely focused here. So nice positioning there. Who also win streaking in this spot. So it's going to be interesting. We've locked in a top 4, but now it's all these 3-cost rerolls, by the way. Also, Millennium Fox feeling pretty good about their spot because we're still not even Draven 3 yet, just have 2 out of 3 of the 3 stars. I mean, we have the most important runs, right? The LeBlanc and the Darius, and they have triple BIS Darius, and yeah, we just get murdered. I would say this is a rough matchup if exactly that happens, where all your melee carries just group up around the Darius and then just get blown up, and all of a sudden, look at that player HP. I've never seen this before. 5-7, 20, 20, 20, 20. That is hilarious. I've never in my life have I seen exactly equal going into stage 6. Robin was really healthy before, but those 2 losses plus some other people winning, now it's literally anybody's game. This is actually crazy. Pick up the Shyvana here, huge in on this board. Lucian Senna also a great in on this board as well, so we get both of those in. Hit the Aatrox too as well. Okay, I think we might be back here. Take Warmogs. We need a last tank item here. Yeah, beautiful turn from Robin here. Just gets his strongest board in, puts himself into an amazing spot here. We'll see if we can get through this Leona here. The Aatrox taking aggro pretty quickly here, but doing good damage. They're really just trying to see if they can get through the Leona, and he can. Who's going to take a loss here? We're not like Volibear, who does not really matter. Millennium Fox also took a loss here, so Darth Noob, the other player who we have in our pool, who is once again trying to go for this like interesting positioning where he gets obviously good gargoyle value, also kind of allows the enemy team to clump and makes sure that his melee doesn't get aggroed on. It's a war of the melees, right? Both both Darth Noob and Robin want the enemy melee to aggro first because they're going to aggro into a tank. And so that's why Robin moved his melees back. Basically, you want the enemy melee to walk up, aggro onto your tank, and then your melees to take a little bit longer to walk up and then aggro onto their melee. It's exactly what he tried to do there. It worked pretty well. I do also think we might have just hit a critical mass of our board being really, really, really strong, because that fight honestly did not look close. Millennium Fox goes down, low-key happy with the 4th from the fact that I don't know if they even ended up hitting the Draven. So I don't know. Their spot looked a little scuffed for a while. Ooh, that is really bad for our RNG for us. Our GP just ends up getting aggroed really quickly. Down to 2 HP and Darth Noob at 1. This game has been so close, actually. But Who is out here. We can take... He's looking at the GS here. What is this? Gwinsu? I don't actually... Who do we have left to itemize here? There's like basically no one. Lucian Senna? Yeah, Lucian Senna last unit to itemize here, who we ended up frontlining. I didn't even realize that. We ended up frontlining Lucian Senna last fight here. All right. Darth Noob, still level 8, by the way. Just, you know, not able to cap out that high because they went for the Yone and all this stuff. And yeah, once again, going to move the Lucian Senna up this far just to try to make sure that she doesn't, you know, she does get set ulted, but I mean, that eating a set ult is low-key better than our tanks eating it. And the Lucian Senna cast, oh my god, the fight is so close, but this is actually a giga positioning diff from Robin. Oh my god. I mean, that was actually like everything. Just to watch it one more time, everything went right? The Lucian Senna ends up like kind of taking aggro here. The nice thing is that this set takes forever to flip, right? We never end up like actually making the set do sit-ups for like a long time. The Belveth back here is nice because then Belveth's gonna walk up and ends up, I think, yeah, aggro's onto the tank here because of the tie break here. But our tank gets, we have our 2 tanks in between the Yone here. So it's really good fight RNG. The GP ends up having to kind of like walk back, but this actually ends up working really well because the GP then walks back in and then aggroes onto the Yone here. That's what wins us this fight, is GP actually being second row here and walking back here, aggroes onto the Yasuo and then gets pulled over here and aggroes onto the Yone. Actually just positioning and just comp masterclass from Robin. Just beautiful game from him. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching as always. Also, look at this top 4. 3 star, 3 star, 3 star, 3 star, 3 star, 3 star. Whoa, whoa. All right, see you guys later.